Nothing. Honestly, I can't imagine not doing what I do because I love it. It's so fun. And, I had this conversation with Dave Chun one time, it was Kilo of Paddles. And I said, every day that you and I wake up and we're able to do what we do, we're extremely lucky. And I've been coaching and I've been designing things my whole life. And, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an auto mechanic. So I love working on cars and I love building things. I like building houses or remodeling something. And if I didn't coach or design boats, maybe I'd be doing some remodeling of houses because it's artistic. You get to express yourself in some kind of a product that's getting out there to somebody. But I think this is it. I love this, so I'm doing my best to stay in it. Patience. I was always so rushed to get to where I was going, and to be patient and to have humility at the same time, I think is very important. I was always trying to rush to get to somewhere, to be a certain kind of designer, to build a certain type of boat, to accomplish something in a race. And if I could give my younger self some advice, I'd say, be patient, be in the moment, do your best, and it will come. The worst part about boat design is not knowing. You design, you spend all this time on something and you don't know if it's going to work, So you put all your energy into something that you think maybe this might work. And then you get a prototype and you get out there and you try the prototype and it's working pretty good. And you think, okay, it's a little heavy, but it's doing what we want it to do. And then you send it into mold process to where you're going to end up with a production model and it's going to be light. And then that waiting until that first production model comes out that tells you whether you did it right or not is probably the worst part. It's that anticipation and the unknown. And it's constantly challenging your mind, right? So it's scary. Like at that point, you're super scared. You're putting something out there to the whole world and you're wondering, did I do this right? One of the worst things about boat design is you completely don't know if you're doing something right at the time. Like you think, okay, maybe this is it, but you don't know that. Like you have no clue sometimes. It teaches you that you don't really know what you're doing sometimes. And that's very humbling and I think a very important thing in life. Between challenge and creativity, I guess. To try to see something that you think is going to work in the ocean in a shape and then putting it down now on computer and then bring it into real life is extremely challenging. But the fact that it draws you in as art and I don't know, I like that it consumes me. Like it'll consume my mind and in a sense my soul because you're trying to understand what something's going to do. It's almost like a living thing at that point. And the fact that it's constantly changing and you're constantly learning. Like what I thought 10 years ago, I look at now and I think is completely different, right? I was chasing waterline. How do I get the longest waterline in the flat to make it go fast? And how does it fit in the bump? So I make the boat short. And, we start off now and we get to the Cantare and it's 18 foot 3 inches with a shorter waterline and it's less resistance because of less wetted surface area. So something, 10 years ago, I would look at 22 feet as being fast and I'm looking at 18 feet, which I never thought would be possible. So I guess the education, the learning, and the way it consumes you in that moment of time. I don't know. It's just really fun. It's challenging, fun, and it's constantly educational. I am wearing a Puakea Designs Talis Crew soft shell jacket, and I'm Really stoked on it, actually. It's got the thumb holes here to put on. It has a hoodie for the sun. I really like it because it's light and it's keeping me warm, and I think it's going to be really good for paddling, like for a warm-up. So if you're warming up in cold weather, I can see myself using it for a bit and then taking it off as I get warmer. It's going to be good for the sun. I don't know. I'm pretty stoked on the Talis Crew stuff because we started doing jerseys with Talis Crew a little bit ago, and that's definitely my favorite go-to jersey on my palette. Plus, they look really cool. So.